to extend a hearty welcome to all the scholars and teachers of philosophy across the country. And I also welcome the scholars and teachers of other disciplines to be connected with us. This evening, we have invited two speakers to speak on the role of science to transform life in different aspects. Today is the birthday of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who is the first Prime Minister of our country and who was a strong protagonist of scientific temper in the Indian society. Today, we have two speakers to speak on the role of science in transforming the human life. Friends, today, Professor D.S. Negi is with us and Professor Dr. K. Rao is with us. In the first session, we have invited Professor D.S. Negi and Dr. Rao will speak in the second session. Today, both the speakers are very popular in philosophy family for their novel way of academic reflection and scientific temper. Both the speakers have the profound spirit in scientific discussion. Professor Negi, the former professor in the Department of Mathematics and Dean, School of Sciences, HNB Gaurwal State, Uttarakhand. Dr. Negi did his BSc, MSc and DPhil in Gaurwal Central University. Professor Negi has more than 3 decades in teaching experience in the same university. And Professor Negi has also many administrative assignments in the same university. He has 14 number of publications in national and international journals. He is also the author of a couple of books on mathematics. With the invitation of Professor Indu Khanduri ma'am, Dr. Negi has shown his interest and he has been very popular in philosophy family for his talk in neuro-linguistic programming in the previous webinar. Today, Professor Negi will speak on mind programming for your life transformation. I extend my humble regard and welcome to Professor Negi in the first session.
Nuri, Dr. K. Om Narayan Rai, Dr. Kailash Chandra Maharana, Mr. P.K. Dash, distinguished learned professors, teachers of the country, all the participants of our nation and dear students. First of all, I wish to express my heartiest gratitude to all of you to give me this opportunity to be the part of this great event. I wish you all the happy Children's Day on today, 14th November 2021. As this philosophy family is representing the nation for coming forward towards research and to sharpen their talents in different fields. I really feel immense pleasure to express myself on this topic, which is a burning topic in this present scenario of the advancing world. A lot of suggestions in my previous 2 lectures have been assigned to me, were suggested to me, and on the basis of all the suggestions, today I have come to prepare this topic, mind programming for your life transformation. During the preparation of this scheme or this program, I have used some books, some researches, and some experiences that I have gained in my life. This program is totally based on personal transformation training. Here, this is nothing new, but here we are providing a training to ourselves for carrying out bigger and bigger works in our life. For this purpose, I am considering three models specifically. These models are Bregley-Bradson. He discovered this model which enables that in what ways we can empower ourselves in any situation, whatever, even the worst situation, suppose we are having, then how this can be made better and better or suitable or convenient for our purposes. According to him, he observed that if our goal in the situation is high, our objective in the situation is high, then automatically we will see that the situation really supports us in the situation for the work. A lot of work, lot suggestions he gave. And this is therefore, in my view, a very useful model. The second model that I am taking is Charles Duhigg model. Charles Duhigg model stands for how we can get rid from our bad habit, how we can overcome any bad habit. Say, for example, we are habitual to be late for any purpose, for any piece of work, for any duty. Then this model is important for this, in which about 7 to 8 steps are follows, and ultimately this problem we can overcome through this Charles Duhigg model. It is then third, Carol S. Duhigg model. In this model, she observed that when and whose mind becomes more activated. I mean, in other words, what is the condition in which we can best sharp our mind, that is our subconscious mind. According to him, according to her, she shown that the person or the situation of the person, when she or he uses the mind for different higher and higher works, creative, innovative works, consequently, the mind grows up. So, in the periphery of my today's this lecture, I am using these three models. Here, to cover this whole lecture, we are having some points here. First of all, to transform our life, we should have the burning desire to do any work or to get our aim or to get our objective, whichever is the nature of that work, maybe lifelong, maybe for some year, some months, for some days or some hours, whatever is the time. But if we have burning desire to get it, to succeed in it, then this transformation in our life can be had. Second point is cheer up the experiences, past experiences. This is the totality of our life. Say, for example, here we are doing some important work. So this will be possible, or our mind, that is subconscious mind, will be mostly activated when the entire our past experiences we can put in a single format as a huge experience, as one experience. That is, it should be cheer up. It is useful for me. It is giving me happiness. The entire past experiences are giving me the happinesses. So this is to be done. This is to be used in this program while we are transforming our life. Firm determination. Firm determination is just like the powerful magnet. If we are committed, we are having firm determination, whatsoever is the piece of work or objective or our aim, that can be achieved. Because when we are firmly connected with our objective, subsequent waves from our heart go on to that objective, which is more powerful. And in this way, a big connection or relation is built between ourselves and the objective or the goal. So this firm dedication is also very, very important point in life transformation. A strong belief system. It is observed with so many observations that the persons who are having strong beliefs are stronger as compared to others. So our entire life, human life, mainly depends upon our belief systems. If your belief system is strong, certainly our quality of personality will be strong, and that will be charismatic. Transformational learning. Transformational learning means we have to learn, in addition to our books, we have to learn our curriculums, our academic curriculums, we have to learn some transformational books which can transform our life. Actually, all these techniques are not given in the traditional books. So for the life transformation, we should have some transformational learning, how we can edify our mind, how the combination of our mind and heart can be made together, and how we can use them for any purpose or for any destination. Creative visualization. A lot of things have been already discussed about the creative visualization in my previous 2 lectures, and today I am speaking in a short way that creative visualization means it is, if the objective is for a long time, then creative visualization should take place for a long time. But by the way, we are having any destination or any goal in our life where we want to transform our life, through which we want to transform our life, then visualization must be done accordingly and consistent practices. If we are having all these 6 things in mind, and we are also very consistent, we are doing regular practices, it has been observed that our life is transformed. So these are some 7 points, just like the rainbow, colors of rainbow. The beauty of rainbow is always reflect by the 7 colors. Similarly, the life transformation is based on these 7 points. Now, I come to next slide. That is, what is a life transformation? Life transformation, here I have used some tricks, some definition of life transformation. Transforming your life involves going beyond the way you live, co-creating a better life for yourself and changing the way you live. You do this by using your thoughts, feeling, visualization, words, feelings, actions, or communication of them. You use them to change some of what is happening within you and in your life, to co-create what you truly desire and to live differently. This process begins from within and results in significant changes in you and your life. As you change your life, you will have a better life ever, the life of your dreams. If you are going through a major change or several changes, they may seem to go on forever, but as they always follow night, so too your breakthrough will follow your changes if you follow some of the aforesaid advices. Now, here is about mind programming. Already, this topic had been completed in my previous lecture. Even then, in short, I am introducing this mind programming. Mind is the brain in action. Whenever our mind is in action, our brain is in action, it is mind. Mind programming can be used to control your mind for good or bad. Mind programming presents tools to give you the power to program your own mind to empower you to realize your goal and desire. Your mental programming, that is all past thoughts, emotions, expressions, and learning, provides your brain structure. Now, here we will discuss techniques of mind programming for your life transformation. Use NLP techniques for changing the pictures in your mind to change your life for the better. Improve your self-awareness. Use powerful mind programming techniques. This mind programming technique already had been discussed in detail in my previous lecture. You use your mind, emotions, and actions effectively. Change picture in your mind, images in your mind, or movies in your mind in a way that you will start achieving what you want easily, naturally, and frequently. Increase motivational intensity. Actually, what we are doing is we are motivated by everything from the outer world that is coming inside us. Sometimes we are being motivated by some motivational speaker. Sometimes we are motivated by any great personality. Sometimes we are motivated by any singer. Sometimes we are motivated by any other persons, and this is a mixed kind of the motivation inside us, which is reflecting nothing in our life as a new. Therefore, here I'm trying to tell that how we can increase our motivational intensity, how we can be more and more intensive towards our goal. Motivation is the influence of strong values. Here, I'm including something to this, how we motivate towards any goal. It has been observed that the circumstances which occur in our life, in fact, motivate us mostly. That is to say, if a person is not going through any circumstance, bad circumstance, we can say, it is not possible that he will be or she will be motivated most. It has been observed that if a person is positive and passing through various kinds of the circumstances, and the person is treating all these circumstances positively, then he becomes or she becomes most motivated. Motivation is the influence of strong values. Values means deep sense of attraction. And that is possible when we are involved in it. We are entirely going to that. I mean, in other words, we can say when we are having so many deep problems, then we can increase the intensity of our motivation towards any goal. Motivation is the consequence of cinematic quantities in us. It is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behavior. Motivation involves biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activates behavior. So, in everyday it says the term motivation is frequently used to describe why a person does something. So, this is very, very important model, which is known as Ikigai model for life transformation. This model is given by a Japanese. Ikigai is a village of Japan in which every person lives for more than 100 years. The average age of the village, which has about 500 homes, the average age of the person is 105 to 110 years. The question is how it is possible. The answer has been got that because those people are much oriented with their goals. They are goal oriented. That is why they are living so long. And it means if we are associated firmly, we believe in our objective, in our goal, firmly we are associated with this, then certainly it can affect the quality of our living. It can affect even our age. It can also affect our way of living and everything. So here, these are the 4 sets of different qualities. Here, these all A, B, C, D are the quality sets of human qualities, human behaviors, human qualities or attributes. Here A is what you love. What you love. Say, for example, we love to deliver lecture. We love to sing. We love to dance. So A stands for this quality. B is what you are good at. Where we are the expert. We have the knowledge. We are having the complete knowledge. That field, that quality, that work is B. We are, suppose for example, we are teacher. We love teaching, but we are good or not good in teaching. The B stands for what you are good at. Are you good at this A or B? Different, or where are you good? Either at A or not. So this is all about B. What the people need. We are good in teaching. We love teaching, but the people do not need our teaching. So C is what the people need. What the people need is C. And D is what you can be paid for. Paid for. This paid for may be in the form of money, respect, or anything. So what you can be paid for. Suppose it is based on money. So these are four things. Then again, I am telling these all things one by one. A, what you love. B is what you are good at. C is what the people need. What you can be paid for. So these are four parameters or four qualities. And if these are four different dualities, then A star B, where star here I have mentioned, star stands for common to A and B. A star B is common to A and B. That is, if I love any work, I am also good at the work. It means A star B is common to A and B. If I'm totally convinced with this, totally agree with this, then we can find A star B is purely a beautiful quantity, a significant quantity, I can say. Now, similarly, if we take here A star C, common to A and C, and similarly, C cross D is common to C and D, B star D is common to B and D. If we look at A star B means common to A and B, then this provides a passion. Common between A and C enables the mission. Common to C and D is a vocation. And B cross D, B star D is common to B and D. It is a quality of profession. Very interesting. Now, here I will take this next part. A intersection B, it is actually in mathematics, this star is intersection, common. A star B star C minus A star B star C star D. This can be depicted here by taking some elements, some quantities, some values here in these sets. And this is a little mathematics that can be easily used by taking some numbers here, some quantities, some characteristics here, some qualities here. And this quantity A star B star C minus A star B star C star D, if we will see this, if we are having these all things, then we will have delight and fullness, but not wealth. We will not gain money. Similarly here, A star B star D minus A star B star C star D, we will have satisfaction, but our feeling will be useless. Feeling will be useless. Feeling will be not better. Similarly, B cross C cross D minus A star B star C star D is comfortable. We will feel comfortable, but feeling of emptiness. And similarly, this last one, A cross C cross or star, either we say cross or star, A star C star D minus A star B star C star D is excitement. We will have excitement and competent, but not sense of uncertainty. We will be not certain here. There will be some confusion. So this is a very beautiful model. Now look at the last part. A star B star C star D is here life transformation, which is called to be Ikigai. Ikigai means common to A, B, C, and D. These are four qualities. If any person is at any work, he loves or she loves it, he or she is good at this work, people really need this work, the necessity of that work is very much in the world or for the people. And the last one is he or she is paid a more for that work, for that quality, then certainly all these four will equip the person with the transformation. I mean, the person will feel transformation in his life, or the life will be transformed. So this is very, very interesting model. We can use this by taking some numerical quantities, some attributes, some behaviors, some other things, and finally, this can be put in mathematical way. And here is roots of life transformation. If any person's life is transformed, the life is transformable, then it will provide happinesses, wellnesses, successfulnesses, society, and orientedness, and masterliness. I mean, if we have the right life transformation, certainly we will be happy, we will be well, we will be successful, we will be doing, or we will be doing better and better for the society. We will be oriented with the society's purposes, society's work, and we will be certainly master somewhere. We will be the leader in some field. So these are important roots of life transformation. Life transformation depends on these five parts. Whenever the life is transformed, these five important things are grown in us, which are very necessary in our life. And here, this is consistency with time and space. Actually, what we are doing in our daily life is we generally learn something in our daily life, but are we leading ahead? Are we taking the right path? Are we happy with our life for this purpose? Here, some things have been put, in which the first one is consideration. The quality of our living, the quality of our life can be changed, can be made better and better by looking at these 3 points. Number one is consideration. We will have to see very clearly what is happening in our daily life, what is happening in our life for this purpose. First of all, this is the first point: cheer up the past as a whole in space and time. What is the meaning? The meaning is quite clear. Whatever quality of life we have spent so far in our life, whatever has happened, had happened or has happened in our life, by hook or by crook. But today, we will consider that this all has happened for me, for my betterment. I mean, whatever has gone, whatever quality of the past experiences we have, that entire in space and time, everywhere, all the time, what has happened should be cheered, that should be saluted, and that should be taken into an account. That gives us pleasure. That should give us pleasure. If it is not happening, we are as such, what happened to our life? We are iterating or we are speaking as such something. It hasn't happened in wrong way, right way, wrong way, right way, very good, very way, wrong and right. What is happening inside our brain? In our mind or in our brain, what is happening? A jig-jag movie, jig-jag picture, jig-jag surface, jig-jag neuroplasticity we are creating in our mind. And even if we are committed to our work, we are promising to our work, but we will see reinforcing a lot, we will be not getting the success. Therefore, it should be very clear to us that while making a plan, while stepping ahead, we should cheer up the past as a whole in time and space. Why? Because that past in space and time is the hard background for us, hard rock for us on which we put our feet. Second point is set micro level scales in present. In present, either in the outer world or inside us, we should set the small scale. Various things already have been shared in my previous lecture. I am only reminding this here. Set micro level scale in the present. We should have observation at the micro level scale. If we are not setting our scale at the micro level scale, in this nano world, it is not possible to match with the outer world. If we want to match with the outer world, fastening world, vastening world, advancing world, then it is very necessary for us to set the small scales inside us. What is the meaning of small scales? We will have to take small scales into an account. For example, if I become late, 1 minute late, if I become 1 minute late in any program, how this will affect the people? How this will damage the quality of the lecture, how this will cause bad effect in others, and so on. Sensitivity analysis is a part of mathematics, in which we should show that if you are sensitive, then we can understand the meaning of even every small event in our life. And that is the cause of sharpening our brain. Generally, it is obtained that a person who thinks or who sharpens his or her wits on the small things, he always or she always gets the high results. Why? It is of course, a question of mathematics. If we will divide 1 by any very small quantity, 0.00001, automatically here the result will be bigger and bigger. So this micro scale we are to set in order to consider the outer world in the closest way, or inside us in the closest way. In the outer surrounding world or in our inner world. But in this age of technology, if we are not using micro scales, perhaps we are indirectly lagging behind. So my suggestion is we should set micro level scales during doing any work of any kind, pursuing any work. As for example, for the students associated with this program, for them, I would like to say that whenever you sit for your studies, please, just before that, close your eyes and check or calibrate the edification, the utilization of your mind. Are you properly holding your mind in your hands or not? It is in your control or not? For that purpose, you can simply test yourself by saying that what is the meaning of 1 second or 1 moment for me? Even if we are asking this question to ourselves, then a good answer we can get from us. If we are not, without asking any question, we directly reading our books, doing our studies, it is observed that after some time we get outside, or our mind is disturbed, goes here and there. Therefore, it will help you in maintaining your attention to any object during any work. Third point is make biggest, brightest, and ultimate plan for future. Whatever plan we are making for the future in our life, that should be put in biggest, ultimate form, biggest, brightest, and ultimate form. It is time now when that plan, that objective, that goal, we should set in biggest, brightest, and ultimate form for future. So here, once again, I want to tell that about how we should consider all these things. The past is as a whole in space and time. Don't put in broken parts. As a whole, we represent our past in time and space. As a whole. Second one, when we talk about the present is stepwise, piecewise, in the smallest part that has to be put to sharpen our mind. And future always is to be put in the brightest, biggest, and ultimate form. When we apply these three things, it is observed that the quality of our success is increased and our life is changed. We get more successes. Then perception. Perception, the process of being aware of objects and events in external world, stimulation, organization, interpretation, evaluation, and memory. For this purpose, we can say somebody comes here to me and say some wrong words to me, he hurts or she hurts, the person hurts me, so and goes away. What happens here? If I say the reality is he hurted me. But if my interpretation is, whatever he or the person did for me is knocking my mind to sharpen it, or whatever the person did for me is important for me, I will learn something from it. This is valuable for me. This is my interpretation. That interpretation should be better and better. The theme of our experiences, our knowledge in this advancing world is ultimately the quality of our perception. If our perception, and of course attitude, perception is clear, advanced, accurate, then the quality of our life will be also better. Again,
Professor Negi, please
yes,
conclude.
yes,
Please
yes,
conclude.
yes. One or two slides are remained. And practices, do action-oriented regular practices. Sometimes it is seen that we think something, but unless or until it is not coming into practical, it is not useful for us. So this is the last slide. Reprogram your mind for excellence. Here, a three-dimensional figure I have given here. This is inner world at point O. This is our inner world. Seeing x-axis, hearing y-axis, and feeling is z-axis. And from the surrounding, so many information, stimulation, signal, vibrations, reactions, actions are coming to us. But what is happening inside us? If we are goal-oriented, then the directions of all these actions will be a single reaction that is in the form of motivation. So if our goal is clear and we are committed to it, we are firm about it, then the entire those actions can be reduced or can be replaced by the single direction, which is the motivational direction. And this is positive octane of excellence. The person whose this positive octane, 1/8 part of the ellipsoid in which all XYZ coordinates are positive, means seeing is positive, hearing positive, feeling is positive, all these are positive. For the person, the positive octane is obtained and it is representing the excellence of the person. So how this is possible? Set you as a child. If we are not setting for any greater learning, we are not agreed to suppose we are a child, it is not possible to reform, to transform our life. Therefore, first of all, set you as a child. Set your goal of life. Set only the primary choices. What happens? What is the difference between an achiever and non-achiever? Only the difference is he always has the choice at the primary level. I mean, he has the primary choices, whereas the other persons have the secondary choices. That is why they are not leading ahead. Interpret the information as desired. Be consistent with goal-oriented action, and in this way, here I have tried to emphasize how the outer world affects the inner world. If we are strong, then we can face whatever situation we are having in outer world. So here it is a conflict between the outer and inner world, but the person who has the willpower, who has the inner power most, then he or she can succeed or can have the life in transformed form. Hence, at the end, I would like to say that any person, any human being can change his or her life, or life transformation can be had through the mind programming. And this program is very, very useful in the present scenario where we are overloaded by the frustration, tensions, all kinds of challenges. I'm sure if we are using these kinds of the strategy in our life, then many of the problems we can tackle and our life can be made better and better day by day with respect to time and space. At last, thank you, good evening, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so much, Professor Negi, for your excellent and creative deliberation on the science of mind programming for life transformation. Sir, in connection to your previous lecture in philosophy family, you have made a conceptual clarification as to how mind is the brain in action and how its systematic programming and reprogramming leads to uh, leads to transform human life by achieving any goal of life. Sir, taking Ikigai model, you have brilliantly explored seven tools like burning desire, cheering up past experience, harm determination, transformational learning, consistent practices, strong belief, and creative visualization for transforming life. And sir, really you have made us optimistic, energetic, and committed through your talk. And hats off for your motivational speech. We are really honored to listen to you in today's evening. And now over to Professor Dr. World and how it has helped that is our life. And at the same time, you have also demonstrated the pale science of life in the connectivity of the science in relation to human values. And you have also taken the science of life and the art of life as reflected in Indian philosophy. And putting on every aspect of science, you have assumed for a better living and the holistic outlook from every corner. And with this, I must thank you for the way you have presented the entire topic. And over to Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Das for carrying the interactive session.
Thank you, Dr. Maharana. We are very much grateful to both the speakers for having delivered wonderful talks on the topic of transformation of life. Both the speakers spoke about transformation of life through the discipline of mind and through the proper use of science. Both of the speakers focused on the fact that only mechanical programming of mind is not sufficient. Similarly, only the mechanical scientific knowledge is not sufficient. So they added the element of value to both the programs, the scientific program and the psychological program. Because life means transformation. If we do not desire to transform, then also we transform naturally by the scientific way, because our cells of our body get changed in a regular interval. So similarly, our understanding gets mature naturally in course of time. As a child grows up, even if he or she is not educated, his or her understanding becomes mature gradually. But if we shall try to transform through education, through proper understanding, then we can do it in a better way. Therefore, the emotion element is very much necessary, what both the speakers have highlighted. Feeling, love, sacrifice, excuse, forgiveness, compassion, sympathy, empathy. These are such values which are very much needed for human transformation. So now this is open for discussion. We have with us Dr. Alok Tandon sir and Dr. Ranjit Ghosh sir. So I shall request Professor Ranjit Ghosh first to make his observation. Over to Dr. Ranjit Ghosh.
Thank you, Professor Thus, both the speakers have spoken very nicely on the issue of life transformation. Now, two things are important in my opinion. The first one is we have to first know ourselves. That means changing our self-concept. That is the primary requirement of transforming our lives. Because we are, when we are trying to analyze this issue, who am I? So many type of self-deceptions are coming into the answer, answers of the answer to this very vital question of ours. So if we can find out who we are actually or really, then only we can change ourselves. Because by knowing ourselves in a true way, we can change ourselves. And secondly, another factor we have to think about this, that we are not our own creators. So we have to think that we are the co-creators. God is there with us, and we cannot just sideline him. So in that way, when Dr. Rao is bringing the concept of God, and he's also bringing the great scientists, mathematicians like Russell into the picture, discussion of in the understanding of this thing, that scientific knowledge should be backed by wisdom, because the divinity in human is more important. That is what I feel. And another thing I want to suggest is this, that and this is the most important aspect, that we have to be grateful about what we are. Because if suppose you see, we are now connected with others through this webinar, and what happens, then we should be grateful about that, because we love the discussion of philosophy. So we are tired through this webinar, through the internet. So we should be grateful, because this gratitude in us will bring out the endorphin, scientifically saying, in us, and in that way we will feel good. Because I love discussing philosophy with others. If I become grateful to the organizers that they have brought me to this platform, and the speakers and others, then I will be definitely feel that it is becoming a purposeful evening for me. So all these things, this gratitude, three things we have to hear. We have to first think about our own selves, that who we are, and then we have to develop this belief that we are not creators of ourselves. So there is a creator, and we are the co-creators. We can create our characters along with somebody else, whose presence we have to feel always. And lastly, we have to make out the gratitude, this feeling of gratitude in us. These three things, I think, will be sufficient for further discussion. Thank you.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. You rightly observed the facts that you said. Now I shall request Dr. Tandon. Sir, please speak something.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Das. Since I was very late in joining, so I will not make any comments on Professor Negi's lecture. But I could listen to Professor Rao's presentation. So my comments are limited to his presentation. He has brought about the good and bad of scientific advancement, and also pointed towards the problems which we face in this era of scientific and technological development. But why we are not able to use the potentiality of science for the benefit of humanity? This is the question. And the solution he proposes is a very, I must say, a little outdated. In between, there are other questions which are to be addressed to reach at the more correct, or you can say the relevant answers to his questions. First of all, unless and until we make a distinction between the science and technology, we are landing ourselves in more and more confusion. Science is about the knowledge of the external world. And nowadays, it is also attempting to answer the consciousness and the brain activity and the knowledge of the internal world also. But the methodology and the achievement of science is restricted to the knowledge part. That is what is. How you use that knowledge, what is to be, is the realm of technology. Based on that knowledge, different types of technologies can be invented. Science discovers and technology invents. And here we have got a choice. How to use that scientific knowledge for a particular purpose. Technology is always purposeful, and that purpose is imbued in it, and it is guided, it is controlled, it is dominated by those who invest in that technologies. Who are they? They are the big corporations, they are the national states, and they use that technology, they produce that technology for either for the profit or for the power to dominate the world. And in that process, they create lot of capacity for destruction against their enemies, as well as lot of destruction of the planet for the profit. So the result what we are seeing today is the damage to the environment, the crisis of all sorts of water, air, pollution and all that, and also the dangers of nuclear warfare. So unless and until we address the ethics and politics of technology, the power behind the use of science, we cannot just have a solution by talking about and bringing in human values. Who will bring these human values? The whole education system is controlled by the nation states. And the values are not independent of the socio-political processes around us. A few days back when Dr. Tiwari was talking about why do we need more and more? Because the needs are being created in us. Still, we can have some choice at the individual level. But how can we make a choice at the social level? So we have to address these questions at the social level. And what we need is the societal transformation. Transformation in the power structures. Transformations in the way technology is used by, created and used and produced by the corporations for their own benefits. So unless and until we address the real key issues and not make science responsible for that. Scientific knowledge is most of all value neutral. Technology is not. So to ask science to do that job is to ask too much from the science. Science provides you the means by creating the possibilities of creating technologies, but it cannot give you values. Dr. Rao cited Russell, but Russell, when he talks about compassion, he's not talking about science. And Russell is never talking about divinity. He's a skeptic, an atheist for practical matters. So to bring in divinity and all these things is not going to solve the problem. Science itself does not answer the ultimate questions. It only can lead to some sort of metaphysical position of naturalism, but that is not science. So to make science responsible for all the damage which the actors, societal actors have done, is, I think, is to try to find out go in the wrong direction. So unless and until we try for the societal transformation, we cannot deal with the wise use of science. And understanding the self has been part of our tradition. We have been trying to understand the self since too long, but where we have landed ourselves, we have not been able to develop modern science. And this, unless until these vaccines were developed, where would have we been? It is very difficult, not difficult to imagine. So we should not put science in the what we call in the Katgara, and we should look towards the real causes behind the misuse of science in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tandon. We have other two observations made by.
If time permits, I should respond in a line or two. To Professor.
Okay.
Professor Tandon. Thank you, sir, for your observations. As my title suggests, is science transforming life? But I have not confined myself to science. I have made a distinction. I have made a use of science and technology also, and I do understand the difference between science and technology. Science goes, but the applicability part, how it is used for a purpose-based use of science, that is what is technology, and it has been, if put to a wrong hand, as you speak of the corporates, the big houses, the politicians, and all the administration, if it is it's in the wrong side, that speaks of destruction. I do understand and do support that, but what exactly my point was and is, whether to say it is science, whether to say it's technology, there is no technology without science, so there can be there is a connection, because it is the scientific knowledge that is put to use. The knowledge that was put forth by Einstein is, if you say it is scientific knowledge, and E is equal to mc square, if it has been transformed and put to use for constructing, for shaping nuclear bombs, you talk of technology. I do understand that, but the problem is science should not fall into, or I mean to say, when I say science, I say in a broader sense, I say in a wider sense, to encompass the technology part too. Technology should not fall into the wrong hands, as you do see also, because technology has a certain purpose, because they fall into the hands of big corporate houses, big business houses, and they use this technology the way they want to, and there lies the real problem. So that's why what Professor Ghosh was highlighting and what I was saying, so there is a need to realize the human problem. If at all science is contributing, it is well and good. I also make it's good, it is welcome. But a value system is needed. If science is making you, it is good. But if science is breaking you, or I mean the technology, as you speak, the technology is breaking you, there should be a check to it. That is what I am saying. That is what the problem that I am going to highlight on. That why there is no break, because of a destruction in the sort of the value system. We have not understood life. We have just understood a sort of living, but we are not understood life. So there the problem lies. And that's why I make a distinction between living and life. And if at all we talk of life, it should have not only knowledge that science largely speaks of, and the technology speaks of, takes that knowledge to applicability part. It is not having that emotional content to the extent that it gives importance to knowledge and its applicability, what you talk technology, and also the action part, the use and the misuse. So that is missing. That's why I define science, or you say technology, as a means of living. And there somehow it has missed life. because there is no understanding, there is no realization part, that is missing. The value system has gone down and it has to be constructed so that science can be put into the right hands. I'm not discarding the findings of Einstein or the scientific world or the scientific contribution and its applicability to technology. What I suggest is, at the same time, there is a need of a heart of the likes of Buddha and Gandhi, which I also spoke of. So that is the need that I say. And I don't think this, and this is the solution that I do feel. And this is what is needed. And if we are successful in that, well, there would be a positive orientation to science. If we know that this is creating, this scientific applicability is creating a mischief, which ultimately would destroy human civilization, human life, human existence. So who is that giving a green signal to that? We human beings. So that we need to realize. And somehow that realization has failed. That's why we have misunderstood life. We have just seen living and we failed to understand life. And another thing, when I'm talking of Russell, well, actually, my sentence went in a flow. I restricted Russell to his love and compassion for humanity as a motive for existence and as a guide for action and reason to have courage. And this is how he sees life. And then when I talked of seeing the divine in human and serving the human, there is the Indian perspective that I say. That is the Indian perspective. It is not Russell's point. And there is the Indian perspective to support this so that we can have a holistic view to life. Not just we just ensure living through science. We know the negative side of science, well, it is there. The negative side of technology that is there. Science and technology, what my concern is, to fall into a hand with a human face that has a concern for human well-being. That's my submission. Thank you.
Dr. Rao, I want to add one sentence that Russell was the first philosopher who can be treated as a philosopher of pacifism. With Russell starts the philosophy of pacifism because he was so much disturbed with the Hiroshima and Nagasaki affair. In his Has Man a Future, a small book, he has written about this at length. And he has also mentioned that he is a pacifist. He claims himself to be a pacifist during the latter stage of his life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this edition. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Now we shall come to Professor Negi. I shall say that man needs not only science, but also philosophy and religion. Science, philosophy, and religion are all human possibilities. And these possibilities are possible only through a well-programmed mind. Because science, philosophy, and religion are the products of mind. If mind is not well-programmed means it should be programmed by cognitive and emotive standpoints. Only cognitive transformation is not the complete transformation, and that cannot give us a complete personality, Purnanga Bhyaktitva. So our complete personality is based upon our cognitive development, emotive development, and willing power. So mind should be programmed by that way, so that we can use science properly, we can use philosophy properly. Philosophy should not be confined to only analysis. Philosophy has a second role. It has also a contribution for synthesis. Similarly, we should not misuse religion. Religion should not divide us. Philosophy should not divide us. And science should not trap us. So all these are possible through a well-programmed mind. So I shall now ask Professor Negi to speak something about the contribution of a well-programmed mind for all human possibilities, including science, philosophy, and religion. Over to Professor Negi. Hello.
Hello,
Professor, yes, sir, yes.
am I audible?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Sir, a well-programmed mind is when our mind means our body resonates with the surrounding. And that is possible when there is a tuning of the waves from our body with the waves of the surrounding. The waves in us are totally depending upon thoughts. Those are generated from our thoughts, and the vibrations, which are the waves of the outer world, are the consciousness. So when we are resonating the waves inside us with the outer side, means consciousness and unconsciousness, the life transformation is held. Therefore, the outer world means science is a conscious, is a direct, is a conspicuous way to represent the science, the knowledge. The knowledge can be only expressed in a clear, exact, and purified way through science and mathematics. And whereas the inner science, mind science, looks at the emotions. The emotions, when they are added with the science, certainly the life transformation is held. As we can say, the science is uprooted fine plant. When it is transplanted into the wetland of mind, definitely the greenery is obtained. I mean, when the external world and the internal world, that is the science and the philosophy or the psychology, are mingled together, the life is survived, and the life becomes better and better, which we call the life transformation. But here the question is how to associate the outer world with the inner world. It is a very unique program, and we have to learn how to match the internal world with the outer world, with the inner world. And it is possible, then we can do a lot in our life. So the studies should go on how to associate the inner world with the outer world, which we generally say sthiti and paristhiti, that is the state of mind and the circumstances in our surrounding world. This may be the emerging field for this philosophy family in future. And the discussion and the studies should go on in this direction. If, in my point of view, if this will be held, if this will be possible, then we can change the lives, not only ours, but the lives of many other people we can change. Therefore, new techniques in this direction should be find out, and so that in any situation, any person in any predicament, adversities, we can come over those all problems, and we can get lot in our lives, and we can transform our lives a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Beautifully, you said about the harmony between the external world and internal world, and that is the real goal of life.
Yes, sir.
And if that harmony is understood, and that is the understanding of that harmony is a human possibility. So if we are really educated, if we claim that we belong to an age of science, then we should understand this harmony.
Yeah.
If this harmony is lost, if we are only engaged with the external world, with the science and technology, without having any discipline of the internal world, then we are not complete. Similarly, if we are only trapped by the internal discipline, neglecting the science and technology, that is also another type of trapping. So there should be a beautiful harmony between the internal and external world, and man belongs to equally these two worlds. So there should be a balance. If that balance is maintained by a mind, that mind is a disciplined mind. That mind is a mind of equanimity. That mind is a mind of sthiramana. That means the equipoised mind. If that equipoise is lost, man becomes a mad person. Man becomes a no man. So beautifully you said that harmony should be maintained, and that harmony can be maintained by the education of a value system. If that value system is lost, science is lost, philosophy is lost, and religion is also lost. So now it is time to actually close this meeting. So the beautiful discussion was there, and compliments from Sarbani Madam and Professor B. Chandrika was highly appreciated, and they have beautiful observation. Now I shall request
Professor Das, I just want to add one thing. Professor Negi, actually, it's a life transformation concept starts with Carl Gustav Jung, and he said that it is possible to transform our life. But it is surprisingly, he was not only giving a mechanistic explanation that we can change, he also is tried to bring God. So life transformation cannot be mechanical only, it involves spiritual element in it. So this we have to admit. This is what the little submission. Sorry, Professor Das, you please conclude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And that is exactly said by both the speakers. Both of the speakers, they are focusing on the emotional element in man. EQ, emotional quench. That should not be neglected. That should not be ignored. We should not lose our life. Our life should not be lost in living. Our life should not be lost in an artificial programming of minds. Mind is not only cognitive by nature. Mind has its emotional aspects. Mind has its cognitive aspects. So all these aspects, cognitive, cognitive, and affective, should be enriched by human attempts. And that is real transformation. If any one aspect is neglected, then man is not complete. Man is incomplete. So thank you everybody.
Sir, I would like to say at last one thing.
Yes, you are welcome, sir.
Sir, actually this transformation is to be said in two ways. Number one, as I say, wow, this apple is this apple is very nice, eatable. This is very nice. Oh, this is totally emotional. But what is the sense of this for others? It does not speak something. I took it taste, but I'm not able to express my views. To give the taste of this apple to others, I have to rightly say, oh, this apple is so tasty. Its taste is sweet. Its color is this. Its shape is this. So that the other people could understand the value of this apple, which means this outer is to be included with the inner. Both of these qualities should be had for the life transformation. This is a very good point. This may be a very interesting point where we have to do these two things, left hand and right hand, for the complete personality development. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Kailas Mara sir to propose the vote of thanks and declare the meeting closed.
Okay.
Over to
Thanks. Okay. Thanks so much, Professor Pramod, for giving the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to the speakers. Really, I don't find any word to appreciate both the speakers and the professors who have participated in the discussion. We, the members of philosophy family, really honored to listen the motivational speech of Dr. Professor Negi today, and in previous time we have also witnessed the motivational speech of Professor Negi. Really, it's a rare platform for all of us to listen to Professor Negi, the way he presented and explained the 7 tools for programming human mind to achieve any goal and to transform the life. Really, we all have been benefited out of his motivational speech, and he has also given a synthetic meaning and to life through the programming of the mind. And Professor Rao, the second speaker and the moderator of philosophy family, today has presented a very beautiful philosophical reflection on the position of science at present for transforming human life. And he has also given a holistic outlook. He has suggested for holistic outlook in everybody's understanding, and even in the technological invention. And today, the observation made by Professor Pramod Kumar Das, Professor Ranjit Kumar Bose, and Professor Tondon has also amazed us. And Dr. Tondon, suggested for societal transformation, and Dr. Bose has given his beautiful synthetic observation on everybody's talk. I do not want to recite it again and again. And Professor Pramod Kumar Das has also given his views, observation to give a harmonious meaning to the life. That is in scientific invention. So we have to live in science. We have to live in the well-balanced life. So the science of life and the art of life are very, very meaningful for all of us. So today, both the speakers have benefited us through their brilliant speech and understanding, and the way they have reflected the philosophical reflection in that talk. It's really praiseworthy. I do not have any words to appreciate them again and again. Today, with this, we want to close today's webinar, and I request our host, Professor Pramod Kumar Das, to close the meeting. And again, hearty gratitude to Professor Negi and Professor Umnan Rao,
Thank you.
for full speech.
Thank you.
Namaskar, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, sir.